Juneteenth, I'm going to harvest these red onions. They were planted in March, some point, March. I don't usually grow red onions anymore because I don't eat enough of them. But I had some little slivered mandolin style red onion pickles, maybe on some Greek food or something. It was so good, I thought I want to make some little red onion slivers. Brian's grandma said, don't ever let a July rain touch your onions. And it's getting close. I think they're ready. I generally pick them when they fall over like this. And they just suddenly fell over about, I don't know, sometime in the last week. I already picked the yellow ones. They didn't get nearly this big this year. Usually this is how big my yellows get. I planted a few weeks ago some zinnias in them because I knew when I pull the onions out, the zinnias would be here, and it looks like I lost a few there, but there's a little zinnia. Can you see this little flower right here? That's an onion flower from last year. If I miss some, they will make a flower next year. Actually, I might purposefully mix a couple of these on here just for fun. There's a little zinnia. Oh. One's a honker. Man! It's like Harder House size. Oh! Should have used a shovel. I'll use this one in today's recipe. I'll bet it'll be a tear jerker. Goodness. It's a long, skinny one. Maybe the swale's more dry down here. No, I thought this was going to be real fast. I could plant maybe some pumpkins in here. It's not too late to do pumpkins or flowers. I always love flowers. Maybe watermelon. That takes 100 days. It's a little late to harvest a watermelon. I might braid these. I was noticing, you know, I've got the yellows and now I have these reds. I think they'd look really neat as maybe a checkerboard braid, a little candy cane braid. Okay, I think I'm going to leave these last 3 here for next year flowers. There it is. Red onions. I have all the onions here. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been kind of busy, but the reds turned out very nice. Big. Yellows, there are less of them. I'm going to try to braid a little candy cane for the first time, like red and yellow alternating. Let's start with this big old red. So you make the T. I've been growing onions for, I don't know, seems like 20 years with my friend Rose. She loves onions. She passed away this year, and even her last garden had onions. She said, you know how I love onions and potatoes. Okay, so I think I'll go with a red there. My very first garden was with Rose, I don't know, 20 years ago. And it was at my house, and I was getting a degree in horticulture, but I hung out with Rose every day. She would ride her bike over. And we decided we were going to plant a garden in my backyard. It was like 12 foot by 12 foot. It was a square. And we didn't want to spend any money on it. Can you see that? So we went out to the Yard Waste Recycling Center because that glorious place was there even then. And we bought rough grade mulch for, I think it was $5 for a yard of rough grade mulch. And we bought so much of it in my Nissan pickup truck that I still have. And we piled it and piled it and piled it. I swear that mulch was like this thick from the ground. And we planted directly in it. And it was the best garden ever. We planted cabbage and potatoes. And I think onions. But I remember the potatoes a lot. Because, well, all kinds of reasons. I'll save those stories for a different time. I mean, who really needs this many onions? But I'm just doing this for beauty. That is looking pretty. And just like the garlic, I do it really tight. You think it's going to break, but it's not. And these are sort of wet spongy, even though they look real dry and crumply. I like the sound it makes. I think I'll stop with this pretty red. Okay, so now, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I notice onions will grow out of this. Like she will start to, can you see that? She will start to grow, lengthen herself, and plop out onto the floor. If you don't have anybody's hair to braid, you can grow onions and braid those. And I think I just started braiding onions and garlic years ago, and I just watched a YouTube video on it. And then this other kind of braid, I think I also watched a YouTube video. And then just like with hair, I guess, you can kind of pull some from one of the thirds over if it gets thin. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I wonder sometimes about my videos if they're long, but you know, we have what we call earth porn and garden porn. I know porn isn't an appropriate word, but you know, sometimes I just like to linger. And what better to linger on than braiding of some onions. Can you still see that? I'm going to go as far as I can. Okay, call that good. Here's one of my little ties. I'll put the other one back here, but sometimes with onions, I like to do a little hoop. Okay, let's hang her up.